Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sylvia and I make videos on planning with the occasional review. Today's video is going to be a setup of my Moterm Standard Traveler's Notebook in black. I'm really loving this Traveler's Notebook. I know that it says that it's leather. I'm not really buying that, but it's still a really nice Traveler's Notebook. I love the setup on the inside. I love that I have 4 strings on the inside, even though it looks like there's only 2. And I've made a couple of things in Canva to add into this Traveler's Notebook in the way of vellum. And of course I have some ephemera that I'm going to spread throughout the notebook. Really the biggest difference between this Moterm and the Traveler's Company Traveler's Notebook for me is the amount of space that it allows. It definitely lets you put a lot more. So if you're someone who likes to stuff or you like more than 3 notebooks, I definitely recommend getting a Moterm. I will tell you that they're quite smelly when you first get them, but once they air out, it's okay. So these are a couple pieces of ephemera that I like to put in here. It's basically a postcard and something that you can use as a bookmark that I ended up getting in a different notebook that I reviewed, but I thought I'd put them in here. And these are some stickers that I want to try to use because I've had them for a little while and I find that if I put stickers in my Traveler's Notebook, I'm more likely to use them than if I put them like in a box somewhere with a lid on it. This is a Midori sticker sheet that you can put in like a notebook for a bullet journal. That's how I use them. Sometimes I put them in my Traveler's Notebook. This is a writing board that I made myself. It didn't come out amazing, but it was my first try and I really do like it. So I'm just going to stuff it here in the back in the secretarial pocket. And on it, I actually have written out my annual review, my monthly, my weekly, and my daily review so that I can always find them easily. I just like that better than littering them throughout the Traveler's Notebook. So they're all in one place. I also have to say that this video is a little bit of a test for me. I am shooting this with my DSLR. I've had one for like a year now and I rarely ever use it because it takes some figuring out and I'm just like a lazy planner person who's just like, yeah, I'm gonna figure that out tomorrow. And then tomorrow turned out to be like a year later. I have used it for actual pictures and other things and it does work so well. It's just figuring it out on the whole setup, how to use lighting with it, because when you're using a DSLR, you have to have extra lighting because when you have your iPhone, which is what I usually film with, it's very, very simple. It just, audio corrects. When you try to use audio correct on your DSLR, you get all kinds of crazy things and it's very dark. So this might be a little bit lighter than I'd like, but I was testing this out in the evening and here in Colorado it is winter in case you're watching this in the future, and so I just had to take my time and try to figure out the lighting situation. I hope that it gets better with time. Right now I'm just showing you the vellum that I made in Canva and this is, a tutorial I ended up watching by Carrie Harling a while ago when she ended up making one, I think in B6 size. You can just drag pictures into Canva and stretch them out until they fit whatever size you need. It's very simple to do as long as you have the measurements for whatever Traveler's Notebook size you would like. Very easy to find. You can just go to JetPens or Amazon and look up any Traveler's Notebook size you need and they have the measurements there for you in the bottom in the description. So I love peonies. They're like one of my favorite flowers. I really like how those ones kind of look like they're almost purple as well as pink. These are notebook inserts from Moterm. They're the ones that actually came with the Moterm Traveler's Notebook when I purchased them. This one is a DIY fish. This is new for me. I've never tried it before, but I've always wanted to. So this is for like project planning. It is a tracker, and I thought I could put all of the different writing projects that I want to get done in a month and track when I do them and when I don't. Sometimes I go back and forth, and one day I'll work on a certain project, and then I'll go to like a next week and I'll want to work on that for like 3 or 4 days. So I'm very much into tracking this year. And of course, speaking of tracking, this is the Paper and Cats collab with Ink Imperfections that we all know and love, but this is the newer version. So this one actually has the months in between, which I think is really nice. And it's also a boxed monthly, so it doesn't go off the page like her original one does. There's a box all the way around it, which I really appreciate. I will definitely leave links down below for all of this, including the Moterm unboxing of this traveler's notebook. And I will try to find that Carrie Harling video where she teaches you how to use Canva and print on Vellum. I mean, people ask me all the time, but I feel like she does a great job and I don't need to make another one. These are the dashboards. Again, I made these in Canva, the pictures that are inside. And I don't know. I can't say enough great things about Canva. This is a book I read second time recently. I love E. Lockhart. I highly recommend it. And of course, I always have to have some kind of wordage on the back. These dashboards are before branding was like a thing, so I never know if they're Chic Sparrow or Foxy Fix. And I have slit them in half and used some regular clear tape to tape them back together so that they will, lay flat. I I hate when I have to like fight with my plastic insert covers because they just keep popping up. But these ones, they work so nicely. And also I used the Simply Gilded washi tape and I went ahead and I pre-decorated just a little bit because, if you've been following my channel for a while, I'm a lazy planner and decorating for me is not really a thing. So I find if I do it in advance, there'll be some washi tape in there. If I don't, it's not going to happen. So I like to fit my printable inserts into one. They're big enough that you can do that. And again, I don't know if they were Foxy Fix or Chic Sparrow. I imagine they're Foxy Fix. And of course here I'm realizing that I don't have any washi tape over my staples. I like to put washi tape over the staples so that the staples don't rub up against my elastic strings and fray them, because over time that will happen. I tend to take my notebooks in and out anymore in order to write on them because I've lately been stuffing the crap out of my traveler's notebooks. I don't like writing on a hump. So it's nice when you have 4 strings that you can just take one off and go ahead and write on it and put it back in, and you don't have to feel the stress of taking apart all of your, traveler's notebook in order to get one notebook out, which is another reason why I prefer to have more strings than one. And now it's all about the arrangement. I like to have my planner and my tracker in the beginning, and because I want to see something beautiful when I open up my traveler's notebook, I like to have at least one dashboard with some lovely pictures in the front. And then I tend to like the notebooks that I write on the most in the center, and it's easier for me to get them out if they are on their own string in the center anyway. So I also decided that I wanted to keep a reading journal in here as well. My other reading journal has been finished, so I'm just transitioning over. And of course you have to have some beautiful vellum. I love that crinkly sound. Also, I like vellum more than I do acetate because I don't have to fight with it. It will, mold and adjust. Whereas, plastic, it just fights you at every turn. And I really hate having to push against my notebooks in order for them to stay open. So I prefer vellum whenever I can get my hands on it. And lately, I've been preferring to print my own because a lot of the Etsy shops were closed after Christmas, and so I was really frustrated in the fact that I couldn't order from any of them because they were all on break. So printing my own is where it's at right now. I have definitely been printing not only on my own vellum but on my own sticky notes. You may have seen a video where I posted some sticky note printables down below in the description, and I'm continuing to go ahead and print. Now I've already been using this for part of January, so I'm just going to go through and remove some of these sticky notes I've been using as trackers, since I have this whole new insert by a DIY fish that I'm hoping is going to work out for me. And these are ones that I ended up making for my writers group, the writers table. So these are some freebies that I post inside of the group, and I thought I would put them here. sometimes I like to mark, what book I read for that month and, what days I read it in. So stuff like that works out. I did use some freebie stickers that I really liked from, I think it was Simply Gilded, to put in the back here so I could put emails, credit card numbers, stuff for your car, TV shows that are coming out soon. I can't wait for a lot of shows, actually. I have them written down, but with quarantine and the whole issue that happened with COVID, I'm not sure if they're going to be coming out soon or not. I need to be looking them up and putting down what date they're going to be coming out, because I'm ready for them. I think I've watched a lot of shows over and over again. I just recently watched Gossip Girl again for, I don't even know, like the 12th time. So I need some new stuff. Here, of course, I made those sticky notes as well in Canva, and this one I have January, but I forgot it in the other room, so I didn't add it in. I originally planned on putting those vellum in a Moleskine, but I had to cut them down to fit into a traveler's notebook, which is a little bit narrower, just because I didn't end up using a bullet journal Moleskine this year. It's really simple in Canva to go ahead and replace things. Before, this was a January one, I just replaced it and put little hearts instead of, I think before in January I had fireworks. So maybe I should make a video on how I make my post-it notes, at least, if that's something people are interested in. I like to put little quotes on here, like my favorite 6 quotes from the book I'm currently reading, and a lot of times they are just short, beautiful one-liners. And of course, I think that's everything that's in here now. I just have to go ahead and put my stickers in here so I don't forget to use them. I'm really bad about this. Sometimes I need a daily because you have those busier days, and then I don't need a daily for a really long time. So it's kind of touch and go with me. I don't like to set things up in advance. I try to do bullet journaling traditionally, where you just, go for that day and you say, okay, today I need dailies. And then the next day you might need dailies, or you just might need to refer to a weekly. But it's hard because you see people set up their week in advance, and it just doesn't work out for me, because usually when I do that, I end up wasting the week completely. But there's no overhang, and I was able to fit everything in there, so that makes me happy. In the tabs, I ended up creating by using printable Avery labels. Those are my favorite. And my current pen of choice is the Energel Clinia in a 0.3. That is my favorite pen right now. And of course I have my Del D pouch in black. I'm really loving this pouch. I have my metal liners in there, a couple of extra pens, and that is everything. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.